Yo, what is up guys? This is Troy D from the Troy D 24/7 Mall channel, your source for on point and no hype reviews. We are back again, everybody. We're back with another fragrance review right here, guys. And today I will be talking about a fragrance that a lot of y'all requested for me to do, primarily because there is a strong comparison between this fragrance and an already established, well-known fragrance we all know and love. And on top of that, some people are saying that this fragrance is even better. So can't wait to talk to you about this fragrance that you guys requested until we get all the new ones to come in. Let's go. Now, before I continue, please do not forget to like and subscribe, guys. Okay, liking, subscribing, and watching the ads is a great big deal to this channel as we head towards 25,000 subscribers. So please continue all your support, guys. Deep dive into my over 800 no hype videos. And if you have any requests, guys, you are my ear to the streets. Please comment below and I will look into it. All right. Thank you for all your support. And the fragrance that we'll be talking about today is none other than New Notes Akigala Mandarino. Yes, New Notes Akigala Mandarino. And this house, New Notes, is new to me. All right. I believe this is the first video I've ever done under this house, like featuring this house right here, guys. And if you have any other fragrances that you think I should try from this house, comment below as well. That will really help. Now, this fragrance right here, though, highly requested, primarily because the spotlight note of this fragrance is Akigala wood. And what exactly is Akigala wood? Akigala wood is a synthetic note that is derived from patchouli oils that gives this dark, sensual, woody, and slightly spicy feel to any fragrance. Now, the one fragrance that really, for me, this is the one where I found out about Akigala wood is, of course, the great Ganymede by Marc-Antoine Barrois. All right, and this fragrance, Ganymede, is pretty much the most, one of the most perfect executions of Akigala wood, and kind of owned, that profile. All right, like that is unique to Ganymede. And of course, it only takes some time for other fragrances or fragrance houses to catch up using kind of like that sort of Ganymede formula of Akigala wood and make their own formulas. In terms of the feedback, guys, there are some people that are saying that this fragrance, Akigala Mandarino, is simply Ganymede plus orange, plain and simple. And then there are others out there that have tried this fragrance that are saying, no, it's not Ganymede whatsoever. Sure, it might share the same properties, but no, this is entirely different. So I wore this fragrance extensively. I got a lot of feedback regarding Akigala Mandarino. Let's go spray this thing right now. Oh man. Okay guys, now let's talk about this fragrance, New Notes Akigala Mandarino. And just as you saw my reaction, y'all know I'm loving this fragrance right here. I mean, I'm a fan of Akigala wood because Akigala wood sets up this dark, masculine, semi-formal to formal gent scent tone. And I will agree that it is kind of like an acquired smell, all right? That not everyone is familiar with Akigala wood, but there is a percentage of the population that falls into the spell of lovely Akigala wood. Now, right here, guys, I gotta tell you, the Akigala wood is in a strong amount. All right, it is a potent amount. I don't know if there's an Akigala Absolute, but you get Akigala wood straight from start to finish. And again, that is going to be your dark, sensual, woody, slightly spicy type of profile, kind of like a dark patchouli woody profile that starts from the beginning. First spray, you do get Akigala wood, although this is listed as a base note. And the blend right here of the Akigala wood with the other notes right here creates somewhat of a metallic smell as well. So it's metallic and dark and woody. And also you will get an early appearance of leather that does create a nice masculine backbone, well blended in here in the mix. If you're familiar with Ganymede, you do know that it's Akigala wood and leather and some suede. Here you get some nice Akigala wood and leather to start the masculine, semi-formal to formal dark tone of this fragrance. Now, what's interesting here with Akigala Mandarino is the balance of this mix of Akigala wood and leather with the other notes that in Ganymede, it's mandarin orange, but here in this fragrance, you are gonna get a strong fruity composition, guys. All right, you're gonna get passion fruit, you're gonna get raspberry, you're gonna get apple and mandarin. All right, and these are notes that really in other fall winter fragrances, they really are strong. They cut through this, fall winter feels with other fragrances, they cut through. But in this case, guys, with Akigala Mandarino, I guess this Akigala wood and leather combo is so potent that these fruity notes, although on their own are pretty strong and potent as well, like apple, raspberry, passion fruit, they're actually well blended in as balancers right here. So the effect, you can say, is still similar to Ganymede in that you have like a mandarin orange feel mixed in with all of the other stuff, the Akigala wood and leather. But right here, I will say that this one is much fruitier. And if you really, nitpick the notes, you can really smell through and smell the apple and the passion fruit and the raspberry. So I would say that this is a nice mix. This is a nice mainstream balancer that pulls the Akigala wood dark masculine tone into now kind of mainstream lovable because of the mix of those fruity notes. Now let me tell you guys that my feedback on this opening is that you will get a lot of compliments, and it's not just those small talk compliments like you smell good, some small talk compliments like that, because at this time I really believe that a lot of people wear perfume and a lot of those standard issue like common smells are really not even complimented nowadays. But this one in particular, I've had someone actually stop talking to me just to acknowledge that I am smelling amazing, that this perfume is really, really good. And I've had people tell me that it smells good and then come back and tell me again. And there are some people that are saying, man, when you pass by, the smell actually stays in the area and it's really, really wonderful. So that is what you will get when wearing Akigala Mandarino. Now, Ganymede does the same thing, but I would say that this, because it has a stronger, more tart, fruity component, is going to be a lot more complimented. That is, what I got. That Akigala Mandarino, although it has the Ganymede Akigala wood leather combination, the fruitiness, the apple, the raspberry, passion fruit, mandarin shines right here, and it's perfect for kind of like a mainstream balancer into this fragrance right here. I got tons of compliments. Okay, so now let's talk about initial sillage and projection on Akigala Mandarino. This fragrance is potent, all right? But it is not the type of potent fragrance that actually forces its way into people. And a lot of people agree with that. This Akigala wood combo is so sensual and semi-formal and gentlemanly in its feel that it's kind of like, you could say, a secret weapon, although it is strong. And like I told you guys, I've had people say that the actual scent stays when I pass by people, so you know that there is a scent trail that goes with that. But for me, it is a very potent fragrance. Actually, with this little sprayer right here, 3 to 4 sprays on this one will create a pretty huge sillage aura scent. People will smell you, no doubt. If you like getting the attention, you will with Akigala Mandarino. Okay, so now let's head into the mid of New Notes Akigala Mandarino. Now, the opening, let me tell you guys, has a pretty long coverage. I would say 2 to 2.5 hours. And because of the multitude of fruity notes in this fragrance, it actually overlaps into the mid, guys. All right, so you will still smell, as the mid notes start coming up, some of the fruity notes overlap into the mid. Now, what greets us here in the mid, guys? You are going to get, again, the continuance of the Akigala wood accord, the one with the leather, right? Well blended in, sensual, dark and masculine and woody. But here in the mid as well, part of this blend is going to be some white florals such as lily of the valley, jasmine, and the standout one, which is freesia. All right, so this is what greets you, I would say 2 to 2.5 hours in. Like I said, the fruity notes do overlap in the mid. Now, this mid right here is nice. I would say that this is more of like the calm down period right here. If you felt the potency and the strength and the compliments of the intro, this mid right here is when it kind of calms down and you will get to smell more of the Ganymede, right? But then you do have a nice clean freesia, which is the standout note for me because I know the lily of the valley and the jasmine, these are like white florals, slightly sweet, blends in with the already strong Akigala. But the freesia is kind of like a clean, almost like clean linen feel that does stand out in this mid. And this is something that Ganymede does not have, as Ganymede goes into a spicier tangent, a suede tangent. This one here kind of has that freesia to balance the whole thing. And one thing that you will notice about this fragrance is that although Akigala wood sets up a darker tangent, a lot of notes really pull it back to the median. A lot of the fruity notes pull it back. A lot of the freesia pulls it back to slightly uplifting. So I like the freesia right here. Clean freesia while enjoying Akigala wood with some white sweet floral notes. Okay, now let's head into the dry down, guys. Now I will say this though, that the freesia is the one big separating factor in the mid. All right, the freesia, like I said, is pretty potent right here in the mid. And I would say that the freesia lasts from like 2 hours in all the way to 4 hours in. And 4 hours in, guys, really it gets to be Ganymede. All right, it becomes Ganymede at like the 4 hour mark and beyond, actually. And in this dry down, it's your typical Akigala wood combination, like I said, as well as some sweet amber. All right, now this combo is very much like Ganymede. Again, 4 hours and beyond is really pretty much your sensual Akigala wood dry down with some slight amber to add in here. And it's a pretty nice dry down. This is something that's not new to me. It will not be new to anybody that's ever tried Ganymede. So safe to say that the first 1 to 4 hours of this fragrance, which is quite a while, is actually the differentiating one. But they do share a very similar dry down and final part with the two fragrances. Okay, so what do I think of this fragrance right here, New Notes Akigala Mandarino? This is obviously a tweak to the legendary Ganymede formula. Now, I own a full bottle of Ganymede. I should have brought it down here, but it's over there in my closet and I already started recording. But Ganymede, to me, I've always maintained that as good as it is, it does have this very upscale type of feel, which is something that is, you know, it kind of restricts the usage of Ganymede. Like I would actually wear it kind of wearing my Xenia or Brioni suit, right? In something a lot more semi-formal to formal. Well, what happened here was kind of like how Boudicca does a twist on a lot of really popular fragrances. New Notes basically took that formula and said, well, what about we make it, okay, kind of not too formal? And the result, in my opinion, is Akigala Mandarino. And that's because in the beginning, it's a lot of mixed fruitiness mixed with that Akigala and leather. And then that clean freesia does stand out as a beautiful balancer in the mid. Very different from the saffron, violet, suede, Ganymede that focuses more on super like upscale, formal, semi-formal to formal nighttime occasions. This is much more usable, I would say, and more flexible on the usage. And also because you have these beautiful balancers that prevent or kind of like pull the dark woody side into the median, that means that this is a lot more usable. I would say that AC environments, it's not going to be heavy or too dark because of said balancers. Like I said, this is a lot more flexible. I would say spring days, you can even really wear this, or maybe like near the nighttime or nighttime occasions in the spring, as well as of course fall winter. Now there's nothing here that's like super thick that would make you feel comfortable in the cold, but it is the potency though of that Akigala wood that serves as kind of like your blanket right here, because the Akigala leather combination is so strong. I mean, it will serve as your blanket in the fall winter season. Again, this is a lot more flexible. I feel this can even become a nighttime grabber for many that are pretty gentlemanly men And I feel like you're going to use this a lot often, especially because the complement factor is one of the highest that I have ever seen in any fragrance. Okay, now total performance of this fragrance is over 12 hours, but the thing I will say is that the strength of this one is quite consistent all the way until the end. So this fragrance, although it calms down, when I say calm down, it also calms down from something really strong, but it doesn't mean that it becomes weak after it calms down. This fragrance is actually quite consistently strong in the sillage all the way up to the 12-hour mark and beyond. Can't say nothing about the performance. This thing is amazing. Maybe it's just Akigala wood. Maybe that's how Akigala wood is. It is potent, it is strong, and again, very undercover, non-invasive. It is a scent trail that will mesmerize you because of the sensuality and the dark woods of the fragrances right here. This is pretty amazing on the performance. And finally, let's look into the cost, guys. And is this fragrance a full bottle worthy fragrance? I feel it is, all right? I mean, Ganymede, to me, I bought a full bottle just because it's so unique and special, and I could wear it in special occasions, all right? This one, again, much more flexible than Ganymede. I like the fruitiness in the intro. These are notes that I love in other masculine fragrances. Apple, raspberry, passion fruit is one of the new notes that are pretty popular nowadays. I like that as well. Of course, mandarin, classic right here. All right, so I like the fruity intro, I like the clean freesia, so I feel like this is a true full bottle worthy fragrance. Now the pricing might get y'all a bit because it is only 50 ml for, I believe, in between $150 to $200 for 50 ml. So for those that are wanting more juice, you might get upset about that, but I mean, it's not too expensive anyways. And because of the potency of this fragrance, I believe you won't have to use much of the juice from your 50 ml to really use each and every time. So I really think this is a full bottle worthy fragrance. $200, $170, $150, no big deal, totally worth it. Ultimately, although I am a Ganymede fan, I must admit that the tweak here is pretty damn nice. It is worth a try, guys, and maybe you will like this a lot more than Ganymede. Whoever tweaked this was pretty smart and probably thought that, hey, okay, you know, we want to expand the usage of the Ganymede formula into something more usable and likable by the mainstream. All right, which is what they did with this fragrance. So I think this is a winner, and that is it. That is my no hype review on new Notes Akigala Mandarino. Let me know in the comments below what y'all think of this fragrance, good or bad or ugly. Just be respectful to others and myself here in this channel. But anything you want to say about this fragrance, let me know on the comments below. And again, if there are other new Notes fragrances that you want me to review, let me know as well, because you are my ear on the streets. All right, and that is it. I will see you guys on the next video. Unfortunately, I'm back to work, but like I said, I am awaiting all these packages with all these new fragrances for me to review. So hang on tight, guys. Please continue to support the channel. Please do not forget to like and subscribe. God bless. Take care. Peace.